Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Tuesday, May the 1st, 2018, and Suck Down Lame came to us from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and the go-home show for Backlash was so bad, it nearly put me into a coma, and we are going to bring the hammer down on this evening's events right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising, take no shit, no sugar added podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Oh my God, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the world's greatest tag team, Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and my little buddy, my trusty companion, and the world heavyweight champion of microphones, Blue the Snowball. Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV's Sledgehammer Wrestling Show today for our review of SmackDown Live, the go-home show for WWE Backlash. And I want to take this opportunity right now for us at the Sledgehammer TV network here on YouTube. I want to take this moment to apologize. I want to apologize to all of you wrestling fans out there that are joining me here tonight that have coming to me for some sort of clarification as to what the hell this clusterfuck of a show was that we just witnessed. I want to apologize not only because I have no idea what to tell you as far as what the hell is going on in the WWE Creative, in that whole company, from top to bottom. Everything is just so mixed up and all random and just so seemingly not put together at all. Just all last minute, thrown together bullshit that I can't even wrap my head around what they might be doing, what their intentions are, where are we going with anything, what was the point of tonight's show. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that, and I apologize. I also want to apologize for the fact that you're a wrestling fan. WWE doesn't give a shit about its fans anymore, and every single show that we see week after week after week is a much clearer indication of that. The laziest and most uncreative booking decisions I have ever seen, and if you want any proof of this, let's just look at tonight's card as a clear example of how absolutely clueless and uncreative and lazy this staff is. Not only did we only get 3 matchups tonight, none of which are anything to write home about, we had the same exact main event that we had from last night's show. Last night on Monday Night Raw's clusterfuck of a go-home show, we had a 6-man tag team matchup main event, right? We also had the Intercontinental Championship, so at least that offset it. But the semi-main event was the 6-man tag. And what did we get tonight as the big promoted match? The 6-woman tag to end SmackDown Live. It's the same exact segment. Not even 24 hours later. You think just because you put girls there instead of guys, it's a different scenario? Lazy. Uncreative. Over half of this show was over. We only seen one match. We only seen one match. And it wasn't that great. And it didn't make sense. Here's another creative flub. We have all these superstars on the roster. We want to do a tag team segment. Let's take the 4 single superstars that are all in contention for the U.S. title and put them in a tag match. And then in the match later, for the tag team guys, we'll put them in a singles match, but it'll still be like a multi-man match anyway, because everybody will be at ringside. We'll have the usual outside interference type of a finish, the same shit we do every single fucking week, and nobody's gonna give a shit. Does nobody else see a problem with this? I don't understand. We're trying to build a tag team division, and the only tag team matchups you want to give us are tag team matchups featuring single superstars. They're doing the same thing at the Backlash show this Sunday. We're getting Braun Strowman with the Dominator. The only thing he's dominating is the most boring ass in the world. Boring, trashly Bobby Lashley. The Dominator. The Sleepinator is more like it. Doing the same exact thing day after day. That is the definition of insanity. So this makes us all insane because we sit there and watch this shit week after week expecting a different result, but the outcome remains the same and the shows just continue to suck. If you are one of these people that are going to sit here and come at me and tell me that I need to calm down and enjoy the show for what it is and just watch wrestling, man, no. Tonight is a hard no. This is a bullshit show. We had over an hour of live television from SmackDown Live in the biggest wrestling city in Canada, and there was no wrestling. There was over an hour of just bullshit. From one backstage segment to an in-ring segment to a backstage segment to a pre-recorded fucking webcam video segment that aired on WWE.com earlier in the week. Just bullshit after bullshit. And then you don't have Daniel Bryan wrestling tonight because you are claiming that his chest is so bruised that he's possibly has an infection. He's got an infection from the bruises on his chest that he sustained from going over an hour at a Greatest Royal Rumble event that means nothing and should have never happened. They will find any reason they can to not have Daniel Bryan as the show. I can't figure out any other reason why. You couldn't even have him there? Let him come out and stop that whole useless big Cass thing? You know, I was starting to warm up on the big goofball. I was starting to say, or hear rather, that his promos, maybe he's been working on them, and they haven't actually been too bad. I don't like where he's going with them. I don't like that he's referring to himself being a little person when he was young. Nobody gives a shit about that. You're being a bully. You're picking on Daniel Bryan for being a little guy. You're bringing out a midget tonight and giving us almost 20 minutes of some of the most cringe promo shit ever. All to build up for Big Cass, this 7-foot-tall goon, to knock a midget's teeth down its throat. Why? Unnecessary. Uncreative. This was barely even amusing when we seen it 20 years ago. When Triple H and HBK did it after Bret Hart left. And they played his music. Everybody thought Bret Hart was back. They brought out a little person dressed up as Bret Hart. I didn't find it that amusing then. They've done this same thing multiple times throughout history. This isn't the first time they've done this move. This isn't the last time. Unfortunately, we're not going to see it. But if you're going to have a little person in the WWE, if it's not Hornswoggle like you gave us at the Greatest Royal Rumble, not that I'm a big mark for Hornswoggle, but he's the, official little guy of the WWE. You got him and you got El Torito, or El Dorito, whatever his name was, the little bull guy, which was with the Luchadores, who are now selling timeshares somewhere and don't even work for the WWE anymore, apparently. What else did we have on this show? Nothing but garbage. A 6-woman tag team match? 2 hours of TV, you had to put all 6 women in one match. We couldn't have got maybe Naomi versus Peyton Royce and not have your outside the friggin' ring shenanigans go on. Let's have some legit one-on-one matches. I don't mind a team up. I don't mind a good faction. But you gotta let people start winning clean or they don't look legit. I understand it's a story, it's a soap opera, we want to make things dramatic. That's all well and good, but you have to also have wrestling. There was no wrestling tonight. You want to call that matchup between Xavier Woods and Sheamus wrestling? That wasn't wrestling. It seemed like wrestling. They pulled off some nice moves. There was a couple of decent spots in the match, but having it finish with all the outside the ring nonsense and the distractions and the roll-up, it just made it all for nothing. And this whole match is only happening because of a backstage encounter that was an argument over pancakes. What else is fucking new? When you watch SmackDown Live, you might as well just have a whole damn bottle of Aunt Jemima with you. Pour it all over yourself, because you'll have more fun doing that and wiping it off with a friggin' baby wipe than you will be watching SmackDown Live. And this is an unacceptable show. This might just be one of the very worst SmackDown Lives of all time. Since they've become SmackDown Live, this has got to be one of their worst outings ever. Let alone the fact that this has got to be historically the worst go-home show that you've ever seen. There was no storyline building towards anything. Everything is all fucked up. Everything is all mixed and matched. We got a brand split. We had a shake-up, but it doesn't matter. We have like 9 interpromotional feuds going on right now. You got The Miz fighting Seth Rollins. You got Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. These are the 2 biggest matchups on the card. You got AJ versus Shinsuke. That should be a big match, but now we're getting it so many times in a rapid succession. Do you really care this much? Thank God they gave it a stipulation. It's no disqualifications. But what do you think is going to happen? AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura is the one thing that I have been longing for and looking forward to, and they don't even allow me to enjoy that. Do you know why? I'll tell you fucking why. Because every week it's the same segment. He's the king of bull style. Shinsuke Nakamura is obsessed with AJ Styles' balls. Every single week. That's all it is. Whatever the segment is, whether we're doing an interview or we're having a match, he turned on AJ Styles at WrestleMania with a shot to the nuts. And then we have seen it every single week since then. You can't come up with something else for these guys to do. What are you, chuckling in the back? What is it, funny to Vince McMahon every time AJ gets hit in the nuts? Is he that juvenile that we have to see fucking nut shots over and over every single week? These are the 2 greatest professional wrestlers on the planet that you have in your employ, and you want to reduce them to sight gags. You want to reduce them to slapstick fucking ball shots. And then you got Shinsuke with all his weird mannerisms and all the new, weirdness about his heel turn. I don't really mind it all that much, but I feel like it went on a little long. It was a little much just for him to get to the Kinshasa, which we all knew was coming before he left that ring. Like I said, I'm nitpicking at this point only because I need more out of this. This deserves a whole lot more attention than it's getting. And if the only attention and the only light you're going to shine on it is Shinsuke Nakamura hitting somebody in his balls, I'm not interested. He's way more than that. His character is more intriguing than that. You're reducing him to a guy that just likes to hit people in the nuts. That's not Shinsuke Nakamura. Obviously, this show was a fucking train wreck. The only good things I actually enjoyed on this show came in the form of Samoa Joe. Surprise! Although his segment even annoyed me to the point where everything he had to say really only had to do with promoting the matchup on Sunday against a man that is not on the show that he wrestles on. So it's very awkward, this cross-branding building between interviews. And Samoa Joe seemed to get a bigger pop in Montreal last night on the screen than he did tonight, live in person. Maybe that's just me. Maybe my volume was turned down a little low. I don't know. It just seemed a little bit like people were more in favor of him when he was actually in front of the person he was going to face on Sunday. Samoa Joe could have came out and cut that promo to nobody. It didn't matter who was in the ring. And essentially it did nothing but push forward for the match on Sunday. And then Samoa Joe wants to threaten everybody in the ring and tell everybody, oh, he's coming for the WWE Championship. I have no problem seeing Samoa Joe and AJ Styles go one-on-one for the championship. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him involved with the 2 contenders right now. If you had AJ, Shinsuke, and Samoa Joe in a triple threat, sign me up. Just don't make Shinsuke do nothing but ball shots, and I think I'll be alright with it. But this does this mean that we may have Samoa Joe actually defeat Roman Reigns at Backlash? Because if he loses to Roman Reigns at Backlash, why would he be staking claim to the WWE Championship on SmackDown Live? I don't know. I don't really have any expectations for Backlash. I could really care less for it. There's been so much going on. I'm exhausted. You want to give the excuse of, well, they wanted to give the talent time to rest. There's no fucking time to rest on a Tuesday. All right, Tuesday is time to go to work. And you know what? I'll give you that. All right, maybe they're overworked. You did the Friday show. They've been flying back and forth. Maybe they're a little jet lagged. They did Raw Monday night last night. Some of these guys were doing a live show somewhere else. I get it. It's a long grind, and these guys need to wind down. So maybe why not use some of the fucking talent we don't see every week? Why not make tonight the absolute perfect time? You want everybody to take a break. You want to build excitement. You want to get people pumped up for Backlash. Why not show us a few new faces? Maybe have Sanity burst onto the scene tonight. Give us Andrade Cien Almas tonight. Not a stupid cell phone promo telling us, oh, you have to wait until El Idolo wants to come when he's good and ready. You know, listen. When the WWE wants to continuously give you the same shit week in and week out, why not take the chance? Where was Ty Dillinger? Where was the rest of the SmackDown Live roster? If the main core of the show, which has been overworked over the last week, needed a little bit of a light night, why not give them a couple of minute or two promos and then let some of the new guys get over? I don't even know who else is on SmackDown Live. I'm having a hard time thinking of somebody right off the top of my head that could have been featured tonight. The show is a fucking mess. There's nothing to even go over. There's nothing else to even really discuss with you guys. Do you want me to sit here and tell you verbatim everything that happened on Miz TV? I didn't even really pay attention. Miz TV meant nothing. The crowd was having fun with The Miz. They were chanting for Maurice. They were chanting "We." Again, it was fun. Of course, the Montreal crowd is great. But I'm almost as exhausted as the rest of these guys, I must say. That's got to be the reason for me just not really caring about anything that happened tonight, other than the fact that they didn't give me any wrestling to watch. They didn't give me any real good story, anything different, any kind of a twist on this lead-in. Well, you had his Page come out in the beginning and tell everybody, oh, well, I made AJ Styles versus Shinsuke a no DQ match for Backlash. Great! Great, that's the best you got? That's the best you got? I don't really care. After a show like tonight, it makes me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. I wouldn't show this show to a friend of mine who actually watches wrestling. It's my job to tell you guys, if you didn't watch SmackDown tonight, don't go back. You'll be much better off just waiting for Backlash, because you didn't miss a goddamn thing. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary happened tonight, with the exception of the addition of one match, which brings me back to a point I made last night. It seems like within the last couple of months, the WWE is just absolutely obsessed with the years 2006 to 2008. Because every single matchup that they think is going to be great, or they deem as high profile, is a matchup from that era. We had John Cena versus Triple H. We had Mickie James last night versus Natalya. That's a 2008 match. We had Randy Orton versus Shelton Benjamin last week. And now we're going to have Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. And then they want to have the balls to say, for the first time ever in the last 10 years. It's not the first time ever anything. It's not. And while we're talking about that, you want to call Backlash the first time ever co-branded pay-per-views? Are you people fucking drunk? Are you drunk? It's not even the first co-branded pay-per-view since WrestleMania. It's not. It hasn't even been the first co-branded pay-per-view since the shakeup. That's already happened. The Greatest Royal Rumble. Was that not a co-branded fucking pay-per-view? You had 50 superstars in one match. It was across 3 brands. You had NXT people in there. Isn't that co-branded? That happened just days ago. So how is this the first ever? I don't even want to go into the logistics of the Big Four. Everybody knows Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble every year, co-branded ever since they started the friggin' roster splits from back in the day. What's with them in the first time ever? You can't always make history. If you would worry more about the quality of your TV show and less about what history you'll be making, I think we'd all be in much better shape. Another example I could point to for that is they want to make light of the fact that Charlotte, if she regains her women's championship versus Mela is garbage at Backlash, she's going to tie, I believe, Trish Stratus for the most women's championships in history. Or surpass her. I don't know which one it is. She's had the title so many times in the last 3 years, I've lost freaking count. But that's what they're all about. First time ever. How many times have we heard that phrase this year? We said it right at the start of the year. Because we heard it about 100 times within the first week. We all called it. We said this is going to be the line of the year. First time ever. Last year was all about the ladies. This year it's all about first time ever. And every time they do it, I could care less. Because I'd rather see less first-time evers and more of a regular, structured, linear television show that follows a path and a storyline that gets from point A to point B with a few twists and turns in the middle. And then when you get to the end, you feel fulfilled so that when you go to the next chapter in the book, you're looking forward to it. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. There's absolutely nothing else for me to talk to you guys about on this night. Crap Solution is dead. My favorite part of the whole night. Paige telling them it's over. Absolution is dead. And then she puts Mandy Rose in a match with Becky Lynch next week. I'm alright with that. I'm absolutely alright with that. I wish there was more stuff like that. Not just random matchups as soon as SmackDown Live begins. Not just random announcements on Sunday or Monday during Raw about what's going to happen tomorrow night or whenever. You had the general manager come out. She confronted her old minions. She's like, listen, Absolution's dead. You're going to be in a match. Becky Lynch next week. Sorry. I didn't mind that. It's actually my favorite moment of the night. Outside of the whole Samoa Joe thing. Other than that, you guys, 3 matchups. 3 matchups. Not one of them intriguing and the same old bullshit. Suck down lame. That's it. It's going to probably be the quickest SmackDown Live review I've ever done. There's nothing else I want to say. They've absolutely flabbergasted me. I cannot explain to you anything that is going on anymore. And I am not looking forward to WWE Backlash this Sunday. You know where to come for your preview and predictions this weekend for Backlash. We will be with that Friday morning. You guys can expect to see it there. I will let you know everything that I think is going to happen. I am going to try my best within the next couple of days to really rack my brain and try to figure out the path. Or try to figure out what the hell at least drug they're on so that I can start taking it so that these shows start to make sense to me too. Thank you guys so much for checking us out tonight. Like I said, nothing else to talk about. So let's just wrap this one up early. We'll call it a night on that. Don't forget, you guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button right now and become one of the hundreds that every single day grow more and more, because they know that when you want truth and justice and no sugar added, pull no punches, truth about your pro wrestling, the hammer comes down hard right here on Sledgehammer TV, and the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show is the place to be. Join the Sledgehammer Club today. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, drop kick the like button with both feet nice and strong. Make sure everybody in the world knows that you approve. by letting them know that you think we are thumbs up, and then share this video with each and every wrestling buddy that you have in your life. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the disease that is this channel, and we can take over quicker if you guys, my loyal subscribers, help me out. Make sure that you are still subscribed. We got a lot of people who have been mysteriously unsubscribed and keep popping back up, and I want that to kind of come to an end. So let's make sure that you guys are still subscribed. If you are not, click that button, join the show today. You could also do that on iTunes, on Podbean, and Stitcher Radio. Give us a 5-star rating, give us a follow, give us a like over there. We'd much appreciate any way that you guys would like to support the show. For the best way that you guys can keep tabs on this show and everything that's going on and seeing all my wise-ass remarks, you can check me out as I live tweet through most of the shows on Twitter. At Nick Nightmare is the handle, and then as always, our home on Facebook, facebook.com, The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, the official fan hub for all things Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. You have links to the audio show at the Facebook page. You got links to each and every one of these videos. We got pictures up there from a lot of our live events and a lot of House of Glory stuff, all of our meet and greets. There's lots of fun stuff to check it out on the Facebook page, so go do that if you have not done so already. And don't forget to leave those likes everywhere you can. Smash a thumb up, smash it, just like I smash Raw and SmackDown every single week, as I can only do, and I can only do it for you. You guys make me happy. Thank you guys so much for all your continued love and support. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, and my little buddy, my trusted companion, and most importantly, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV. That is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time, right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Dig it!